Just to discuss about the transport issue. I like Mr. Lim's point about when we first raised ERP, congestion roads disappeared. And later on, with allowing a growth of 3%, parking became an issue. So it appears to me that we are reacting to each policy as we move on. The whole transport issue should be looked from a systemic perspective. If cars, you need parking, you need roads, and you need to ask ourselves, do we have the infrastructure to have sustainable growth of 3% per year? So the whole issue of planning, urban planning for roads, parking, and car growth, that has been seen as the total system. If you do it properly, people will know when to use their cars, when to take public transport. If all things being equal, common sense will tell us that you don't drive a car if the transport system is efficient. Right? So, somehow or other, this whole interplay between car ownership, buses, trains, roads, car park, must be seen as an overall system. Otherwise, you solve one problem, you create a new problem, a new area. And the ERP did that in the sense that you have ERP, we thought that we solved the car growth problem. But by allowing car growth, you have parking problem. So I thought, we can't have a solution over tonight because it just discussed now. But I think the whole issue must be seen as a total system perspective rather than individual items which may impact another issue without us knowing it along the way. So that's my thoughts.
No, that indeed is the way the Land Transport Authority approaches the problem. It's got to be done in isolation. It's got to be planned in total. But it's on computer simulation. You feed in that data, you've got several equations, you've got pictures here and there. On computer, it looks very good, you see. But in real life, it doesn't work that way all the time. So you can be rest assured that they try and plan ahead of demand. But sometimes you can't guess the demand. In public housing, if you start from the very old days, HDB always underprovided car parks. Because by definition, public housing was meant for the poor, heavily subsidized. They should not be able to afford to buy the cars. But very quickly, you find that many people, because of a high economic growth, were able to buy cars, one car, and car parks were all taken up. And later on, HDB provided more car parks. I think they did not factor that many families would have two cars. Maybe they want the ratio of 1.1, 1.2 cars. But in fact, the average may be about 1.5 cars. So not sufficient. So therefore, they could build multi-story car parks, which would appear as retrofitting, which of course create problems. Had you planned all this in the beginning, you could put it somewhere else without blocking other views. But if you were to do that from the very beginning, you're going to have surplus multi-story car parks. There's a stocking cost. You've got to pay for the cost of empty car parks. So you can never get it right. We are such a small place. It's like a balloon. You squeeze here, the air goes to the other side. You squeeze there, air goes somewhere else. So every problem, there is a problem. Every solution creates further problems.